Why are we afraid to fly? Even though airplanes are the safest transportation on the planet. You're sitting in your seat, strapped in, the engine's revving up, and at that moment something inside starts screaming, "This is wrong." A person should not be suspended in the air at an altitude of 10,000 meters. One mistake, and that's it. Logic tells you statistics, facts, and safety figures, but your body doesn't listen. My palms are wet, my heart is pounding, my breathing is labored, and every turbulence feels like falling into an abyss. This is aerophobia, the fear of flying, and millions of people around the world give up their careers, travel, and meetings with loved ones just because they can't bring themselves to board an airplane. But where does this irrational horror come from if the probability of a plane crash is several times lower than dying in a car accident on the way to the airport? Aerophobia is not just a fear of heights and not just a fear of death. It's a cocktail of many ancient and modern fears mixed into one paralyzing horror. It's the fear of losing control. You're sitting in a metal tube, controlled by strangers, and you can't influence anything. It's the fear of enclosed spaces. You're trapped in the cabin, you can't get out, open the window, or escape. This is the fear of heights. There are 10 kilometers of emptiness below you. It's the fear of the unknown. You don't understand how this huge iron thing stays in the air at all. And that's the fear of helplessness. If something goes wrong, there's nothing you can do. Our brains are not evolutionarily designed to fly. For millions of years, people have lived on Earth, and everything that rose high and fast usually fell and broke. Gravity is a law that our brain has learned at the level of instincts. That's why when you're sitting on a plane, your ancient brain screams, "It's unnatural. We must fall. Prepare to die." It doesn't matter that modern technology has proven the opposite. Instinct is stronger than logic. Aerophobia often begins with a specific trigger. Maybe you've experienced severe turbulence when the plane was shaking so much that it looked like it was going to fall apart. Technically, it was safe, but your brain recorded it as a death threat. Maybe you watched the news about the plane crash and visually imagined yourself at the place of the victims. Maybe someone nearby panicked on the flight, and you caught their fear. Or maybe you had a panic attack on a plane for a completely different reason: stress, fatigue, stuffiness. But your brain connected it to the flight, and now every takeoff is a trigger. Then the avoidance begins. You refuse business trips, vacations abroad, meetings with relatives in other cities. You choose trains, cars, even if it takes 3 times longer. And every time you avoid flying, your brain reinforces the belief: I escaped because I didn't fly. Fear grows, the comfort zone shrinks, and as a result, even the thought of an airplane causes anxiety weeks before the expected flight. The cruelest thing about aerophobia is the feeling of helplessness in the air. On the ground, in the car, you can stop, get out, take control. You're trapped on the plane. You can't tell the pilot, "Stop, I'll get out." You're completely dependent on other people and technologies that you don't understand. Every sound, a creak, a hum, a click, seems to be a harbinger of disaster. Turbulence feels like falling, even though the plane is only slightly rocked by the airflow. And your brain interprets every signal as confirmation. See, we're dying. But how to overcome this fear? Aerophobia is being treated, and it's not magic. It's retraining the brain through knowledge and practice. The first step is to understand the mechanics of flight. The fear of the unknown is killed by knowledge. Learn how an airplane works, why it can't fall, and what turbulence really is. Find out that these are just air holes, like bumps on the road. Unpleasant, but absolutely safe. Pilots go through this thousands of times. It's routine for them. When you understand the process, the brain calms down. The second step is gradual exposure. You can't just force yourself to not be afraid and get on a plane. Start small. Watch videos from the cockpit on YouTube. Listen to the sounds of takeoff and landing at home with headphones until you get used to it. Then go to the airport, sit in the departure lounge, watch the planes take off. Then book a short flight, an hour and a half, no further. Your task is not to be afraid, but to be afraid, but to do it. Let there be fear, but you will live it in the air, and the brain will see. Look, we were afraid, but we didn't die. The third step is managing physical symptoms. When you panic in flight, use breathing techniques. Inhale for 4 seconds, hold for 7 seconds, exhale for 8 seconds. This physiologically disables the fight or flight mode and enables relaxation. Ground yourself. Count the chairs, feel the floor with your feet, squeeze the armrests, look at the interior details. Don't look out the window if the height scares you. And most importantly, allow yourself to be afraid. Aerophobia feeds on shame. I'm an adult. Why am I afraid? Tell yourself, yes, I'm afraid. So what? It is okay. It's just an adrenaline rush. When you accept fear, it loses its power. If you have aerophobia, write in the comments. What scares you more? Takeoff, turbulence, altitude, or the very thought that you are trapped in a pipe with no exit? And honestly, have you already given up important trips because of this fear? The world is huge, and it's waiting for you on the other side of the runway.